Compassion means to me being able to understand where somebody's coming from, their circumstances, what they've been through in the past, and just trying your best to relate to that person, kind of put yourself in their shoes, because we all come from different walks of life and we're all always in different situations.
So for me, compassion, I think of the Book of the Tao, loving others, loving the world as you love yourself, and you'll love all things. Compassion isn't just feeling or relating to what other people feel, but turning that feeling into action. So I think of compassion as action and loving ourselves as we love every part of this world and every human in this world.
Compassion to me is pretty formulaic. I think it starts with removing yourself as the focus. And then I think it goes into the really heavy work of truly seeing another person outside of yourself and really understanding what drives them in the moment, what they're made of. And then this reconciliation or reconciling process of balancing those two. You know yourself intrinsically, but you're moving yourself, learning why we would even bother to do that, then learning how to do that, and then choosing to practice that so much that it becomes your reflex, your instinct, automatic. Then you've reached this place that we like to call compassion.
So compassion for me is really about creating and seizing opportunities to get to know other people that you don't understand or maybe fear, and see people for who they really are rather than who we think they are. That's where the magic happens. That's where relationships can be built, and that's where systems can change, and that's where communities can start to heal.
Compassion to me happens at that intersection between holding someone else's pain and sharing it with them and being moved to act, to diminish it, to do something to relieve it. One of my favorite memories, my former brother-in-law was a big, tough rugby player, high school quarterback, and so forth. When he had little kids, when one of them would fall and hurt their elbow or something like that, he would say, "Shake it off." And if it was a bigger hurt than that, he would say, "Give me some," and touch his elbow. But some hurts are too big, and all we can do is sit down next to somebody and be present and witness their pain.
Compassion means to me moving yourself out of your own self and trying to relieve the pain, the trauma of those, either physically, mentally, emotionally, and being able to accept them for who they are and what they are and not be judgmental, and just giving empathy and understanding where they are and why they're there.
When I think of compassion, I think of unity and, most importantly, connection. Positive connection is the building block to a positive community. People supporting people, people loving people.
It is a privilege to be present, really present with an individual and their struggles, to see them for who they were, who they are, and who they want to be without judgment. Seeing them begin to believe in themselves and embrace the strength you've always seen in them is a joy. The true reward comes in witnessing them help others from the compassion they've learned along the way and spread the message that recovery is possible.
Compassion to me is really about being able to look at what we're seeing in terms of a social or physical reality and understanding that we are seeing the top of the iceberg, that what we're not seeing is what's underneath. We're not seeing the lens in which that thing that is happening, that what made it manifest. So compassion for me is being able to understand not what I'm seeing, but what maybe I'm not seeing.
So compassion to me is the desire to help someone, either by helping them to resolve their own issue or figuring it out on their behalf.
So compassion to me is the ability to recognize suffering and to also see people apart from that suffering, that individuals are more than their problems or their challenges or even their symptoms, but they are people who have been through a journey, and our role as healers is to walk alongside them to understand that suffering.
I think that compassion is when you see that the person who is in front of you is so much more than a body, a physical presence, but something so much more than that, deeper within, and recognizing and honoring that deepness to evoke the best from it and help them become all they want to be.
Compassion is the element of a servant leader. And with compassion, we all have emotional intelligence.
So what compassion means to me, just taking the time to listen to somebody and figure out what they're going through and just be an impartial ear and just taking the time and letting them know that you're actually there to listen and not judge.
Compassion to me is probably the image of truly your feet in another's shoes and supporting them walking their path. I probably cherish the words and spirit of Thich Nhat Hanh and his approach to compassion, in that it is not feeling compassionate for the victims of great abuse, but for the abusers, and to truly know that we are all in a place where the hurt and pain and healing and peace occur simultaneously.
So compassion for me is really like a selfish act, meeting somebody and being with somebody in a way that helps them get through and helps you to more understand what they've been through, even if it's something that you've never been through. Just that meeting them and being selfless and understanding where someone is in being there.
Compassion is being able to be compassionate to yourself in the face of working in difficult times.
The love, the caring, the genuine caring you have, not only for yourself, but for others, people you know and people that you don't know. Compassion to me is genuine.
I think compassion to me means coming from a place of authentic lived experience and kind of prioritizing individuals' choice and autonomy, in that individuals frequently feel dehumanized or they're worthless or their voices are worthless when we take choices away from them. And for me, compassion really is centering that process of giving someone's choice back to them. And a lot of that means helping them become a self-advocate and supporting them through that process.
So what compassion means to me is, I think, allowing somebody the responsibility and the freedom to be more than what they seem to be at any given moment.
To me, compassion means thinking about what others might be going through, bringing yourself to every situation, understanding that people are going through things that we have no idea about, and not just understanding what people might be going through, but also how do you take action to support them in whatever that they need. And also, I think about compassion as being compassionate to ourselves as we face each day.
So compassion to me means that you feel with someone. It's using some of your own experiences to be able to connect with another in a meaningful way. It's about getting out of yourself, but using your own experiences to be able to take that, what's happened to you, to be able to support others. So compassion is really feeling with the person and not just making that feeling, but being able to do something about it.
I believe that compassion is a moving space, a space where one can give, one can receive, and that giving is focused on our hearts, our love for humanity. And so that's what I believe compassion is, our ability to connect as human beings in the very heart and best of who we are as human beings.